The Republican Party needs to get its shit together. ASAP. I'm really glad we spent the past couple of weeks, as Sean Davis of the Federalist put it, policing some young person's group chat, what a podcast host said, and what the head of a think tank over at Heritage had to say. I'm really glad that the Republicans devoted so much time to that. That was a great move. Terrific move. Way to stick together, to really shine a light on what matters. The Republicans like to lose. They enjoy losing. They enjoy when they are embattled and in a losing position and complaining. They love it. They do it really well. Less good at winning, especially when Donald Trump is not there to get them over the line. The Republican Party is not strong. Donald Trump is strong. Republicans don't know how to win. They don't know who to run. They don't know what to do when daddy's not there to fly them across the finish line.
Yesterday was a poor day for the Republicans. They lost not only in New York City, but they lost in New Jersey, they lost in Virginia, and they lost with really decent margins. I guess New York City you can't count because there wasn't even a Republican option there. What do you see as the main reason behind these poor results?
Well, I'll say these states are Democrat states. Virginia hasn't had a Republican win, the presidential contest there since 2004. You look at, the state of New Jersey, also a similarly very blue state. I think blue states vote for like blue states. I think there was momentum at certain junctures of the race, but you can't really go against those political headwinds, much, right? And so I think that at the end of the day, I think this is a call to action for Republicans to not rest on our laurels as we approach the midterms, which are going to be a lot more favorable to us, and especially as I think President Trump's economic agenda begins to take shape and take effect, where we're going to see the lowering of prices across the board. And I think the president's message will be simple. It's about affordability. It's about bringing the cost of living in America down so that everyone can afford the American dream. That's how we're going to ensure that we not only grow our majority in the Senate, but also do so in the House. And so I think that it's a wake-up call for Republicans, but I don't think we should read too much into it. Again, these are Democrat states that voted for Democrats. I'm not surprised at all.
Well, that is a good point. They are Democrat states, and young women are responsible for much of what we saw in Virginia, New Jersey, New York City. They overwhelmingly backed the leftist options, and women in general, CJ, backed people like Abigail Spanberger for governor of Virginia, while most men voted for the Republican woman, Winsome Earl Sears. And we saw in New York City, women and foreign-born voters really get behind Zohran Mamdani.
No, you're exactly right there, Rita. And what I would say to that is that I've oftentimes said that white liberal women will be the death of our republic if we don't get serious about, somehow changing their minds about a lot of these issues. And, what I'll tell you is that after the passing of Charlie Kirk, I saw someone point out the fact that we hope that Erica Kirk will be able to do for young women what Charlie Kirk was able to do with young men. And I think that, if she's able to do that, I think that's how we right this ship. That's how we turn the tide to ensure that we can save this country, because it truly is unsettling what we're seeing among that demographic. And it's not too late now, but it may be in a few more election cycles. So we've got to do the work to reach them where they are.
I got to say, I'm really concerned about how this goes as far as societal changes, because you've got young men increasingly leaning right. You've got young women leaning heavily left, so often radical left. How is that going to work? How are these people going to find lifelong partners and spouses when their values are so fundamentally different? Politics isn't everything, but we're talking about consequential issues here. Now, just quickly on Virginia, they did elect Democrat Abigail Spanberger, and she beat a Republican woman, Winsome Earl Sears. And what was really interesting here was Barack Obama campaigning for Abigail against a black woman after he told black men they were sexist for not backing Kamala. And incredibly, the NCAAP campaigned for that Democrat too. That's the National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People, campaigning against a coloured woman.
Well, see, Rita, the thing about these people that it's important to understand is that they don't actually just like black people. They only like black people that they can control, right? And so Winsome Earl Sears was not someone that they could control, so they didn't like her. They could control Kamala Harris. They could control Michelle Obama. They could control many of those other folks that, toe their party line. But Winsome Sears was a independent thinker. She was a free thinker, and that scared them more than anything at all. And so they were willing to go against their own public statements from 2024, willing to go against their own public statements even today, to support Abigail Spanberger, who is really not have a record that is worthy of any type of commendation at all. So again, these people are hypocrites. They expose themselves every single day. And I say this oftentimes, I think, when I'm with you, is that when someone shows who they are, believe them the first time. And the Democrats have shown us time and again who they are. And it's the most blatant and unapologetic hypocrites on the face of the earth.